And when we said to the angels, make obeisance to Adam, they did obeisance, but Iblis did it not. He refused, and he was proud, and he was one of the unbelievers. And we said, O Adam, dwell you and your wife in the garden, and eat from it a plenteous food wherever you wish, and do not approach this tree, for then you will be of the unjust. But the shaitan made them fall from it, and caused them to depart from that state in which they were. And we said, get forth, some of you being the enemies of others, and there is for you in the earth an abode and a provision for a time. What is Allah trying to show us? What are the secrets that are hidden in plain sight? Who or what is Satan? This is the machinations. Do you believe in evil? If you do, then think, what shape would evil take in the world today? Would it be invisible or visible? Would it be apparent for all to recognize, or would it be hidden in plain sight? The Holy Quran warns humanity, do not worship Satan. What do you think this means? Think about the people in your life, your friends, your family, your work colleagues, your boss. If they witnessed evil, would they recognize it? If they saw the Satan, do you think they would identify him?
Hello. Who are you? An angel. What's your name? Satan. Uh-oh.
Or would they seek to deny its very existence? This series will take you on a journey of discovery. It will awaken you to some of the biggest secrets of the world in which you live, and it will remove the covers that have kept you blind. Some things may scare you, some things may astonish you, some things you will wish were not true. And I'm here to reassure you. I'm not doing this to frighten you. I'm not doing this because I want you to cower. I'm doing this for one reason, and one reason only: to free your mind. And I assure you, if you listen and walk on the straight path, you will come out of this stronger, braver, and more powerful than you could ever have imagined. But I can only show you the door. You are the one who has to walk through it.
Let me tell you why you're here. You're here because you know something. What you know you can't explain, but you feel it. You felt it your entire life, that there's something wrong with the world. You don't know what it is, but it's there, like a splinter in your mind, driving you mad. It is this feeling that has brought you to me.
The first thing you must know is that your enemy, the Satan, is not a figment of your imagination. He is not an apparition. He is not a fictional thing of legend or of fantasy. Nor is he simply your nafs, your carnal lower desire. I wish it were that simple. Rather, he uses your lower desires as a weapon to enslave you. He is Iblis, a jinn. He is alive, and he is very much real. And just as other humans and jinns walk upon this very earth, he too walks. He too talks. He has made a plan to enslave your mind and to keep you in the dark. The discussion about what a jinn actually is a lengthy one, which inshallah we will discuss in the future. But for now it suffices to say, humans are made out of clay, jinns of fire. Clay is something material, physical, tangible. it's much easier and clearer to understand it, since we are made of that very physical substance. If jinns are made out of fire, that means that they are semi-physical, just as fire. If you try to imagine what that potentially means, you'll be one step closer to understanding the reality of jinns and Iblis himself, the Satan. For now, what's important is for us to recognize that just as other humans and jinns travel upon this earth, he too travels. Satan too talks. He has made a plan to enslave your mind and to keep you in the dark. The Holy Quran states, Iblis said, Lord, because you have caused me to go astray, I shall make earthly things attractive to people and mislead all of them. The ultimate goal of Satan is to make you suffer, and he will stop at nothing to make you suffer in the hereafter or today, now, in this world. And so he whispers and makes the things of this world attractive to you.
I conjure thee to speak to me. Speak as thou dost speak to Jonas and Mercy. Dost thou understand my English tongue? Answer me.
What dost thou want?
What canst thou give?
Wouldst thou like the taste of butter? A pretty dress? Wouldst thou like to live deliciously?
He makes the people eat until they are so fat that they can barely stand. He makes us induce poisons into our bodies, drugs and alcohol, which we have been enticed by until we disgrace ourselves. He makes us chase after an unattainable measure of wealth, which neither satisfies us nor gives us happiness until we die, having left behind nothing but a legacy of greed. Like shipwrecked men turning to seawater because of uncontrollable thirst, we drink and drink until we die. He engages us constantly in amusements, in sports, in chasing after celebrity culture, makes us addicted to video games, all so that we neglect the things which matter most. And once our families and loved ones have left and gone far away, we wallow in our own solitude and are trapped. Now, the only comfort we find is to turn back to the pleasures of the flesh, which lost us all things in the first place. One more movie, one more comedy series, one more online video, one more hit. And every step leads us closer to the inevitable reality of our graves, and therein awaits us naught but our own empty souls, which we neglected seemingly so long ago. This is the nature of this world, the dunya, and it is through this dunya and our animalistic souls that the devil truly does tempt us down the path of misery. The Holy Quran warns us, nay, but you preferred the life of this world. Now, you may ask how Satan manages to trick us, each and every one. How is he able to be in so many places at once? How is he the culprit for this catastrophic deception? Well, firstly, he is not the culprit. You are. For he can only whisper and suggest. It is you that must listen. And when all of this is finished, all lives that could have been lived have been expended, and the test of life, the universe, and everything is concluded, you will realize the sheer reality of this. And Satan shall say after the affair is decided, surely Allah promised you the promise of truth, and I gave you promises. Then I failed to keep them to you, and I had no authority over you except that I called you, and you obeyed me. Therefore do not blame me, but blame yourselves. It is absolutely vital that we recognize that the power lies in our own hands. And while Satan, Iblis, may whisper, it is us who act. And secondly, what makes you think that Satan is alone in his endeavors? The Quran states, what? Would you then take him, Satan, and his offspring for friends rather than me, while they are your enemies? Just as our father Adam brought his offspring into the earth, and we are his descendants, so too did Satan procreate, and his offspring have filled this world. Today there are innumerable jinn and men who are serving Satan. These evil men and jinn are known as shayateen, the shaitans. Did you not see the verse of the Quran? He, Satan, whispers into the hearts of men from among the jinn and the men.
Knock, knock, let the devil in, malevolent as I've ever been. Head is spinning, this medicine screaming, dick, 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 medicine.
You should know that every time a voice suggests to you to commit sin, it is the voice of Satan. Every time an acquaintance whispers to you about someone else, making you hate them, backbiting them, it is the whisper of Satan. Every time somebody makes you afraid of serving the cause of Allah, somebody makes you depressed, feel alone, dark, and drags you towards the dunya, you should know that these are, knowingly or unknowingly, those who have fallen for the trap of Satan and are working for the satanic agenda. Now look and see. Recognize that your mind has been infiltrated by messages which do not originally belong to you or to God. Rather, these are the messages of Satan and his allies. Do you really think that the mainstream music industry, the singers, the dancers, the musicians, have not entered into your hearts the insinuations of Satan? Do you really think that you have remained safe from the subconscious ideas that have been pushed through every movie you have ever watched? Nay, but everything you wear, the food you eat, the lifestyle you choose to live, the things you say, the ideas you have, the understanding you have of the world around you, the technology you use, all of it has been influenced. And you have to ask yourself this fundamental question. Has it been influenced by God, or has it been influenced by other than Him?
Wouldst thou